One of the sweetest childhood memories that I have, and you'll probably relate if you were a 90s kid, was when Laramie introduced the Super Soaker.
I forget to invite you to the pool party? Well, maybe next year.
On those occasions when you need to make a big splash, there's the Super Soaker 100. It has a powerful air pressure system.
Oh, Buffy!
A range of up to 60 feet. And a drenching spray. The Super Soaker 100.
This was something that not many people expected. A pressurized water gun that completely changed the playing field when it was pool day during those hot summers. Fast forward a couple of decades and companies started coming out with some incredible marvels of technology. In addition to modern renditions of the Super Soaker in the form of slam-fire action blasters, which dominated the market in the late 2010s, you had a couple of companies stepping out of the norm into the technical realm. We all know about the Spyra, which I believe now it's the Spyra 1, Spyra 2, Spyra 3, probably got the Spyra 4 already out. But those were always referred to as rich kid toys, just very inaccessible, far-fetched, very, very expensive water blasters. Today, we're gonna review a cool product that puts such technology in the hands of absolutely everybody. I introduce you to the Mongu S2 by Kublai. What kind of cool features does this baby bring to the table? Let's find out. All right, guys, so I never really played with a Spyra or had the opportunity to handle one and check out its features, but I can tell you what this brings to the table. This is the Mongu S2 by the parent company named Kublai. This company reached out to me and asked me if I would like to feature and review their product. With summer right around the corner, I thought it was an excellent idea, so I said, get her done. They went ahead and shipped me a sample. I believe they have 3 colors of this one. They have black, like this one. They also have a teal, and they also have a white one. This is pretty cool given that the sci-fi look of it is extreme enough that it might not be mistaken for something else. However, you still want to be careful, and given the fact that you're probably going to be in a beach or pool aquatic setting when you're playing with this, it might not be that big of a deal. However, we're going to go through a little unboxing. We're going to check out the initial features. We're going to do a couple of firing tests and see what it does, and then I'm going to give my lasting impressions. Let's get right to it. All right, guys, here it is. So this is the Mongu S2 in its original box. According to the SKU code here, looks like I got the black edition. I guess they make a light colored one and a dark colored one. I think they make a teal colored one as well. I'll confirm that towards the end of the video. Mongu S2 auto water gun, and it just has your basic warnings and battery precautions. Without further ado, let's tear it open and see what's inside. All right, and it looks like we got our teal blaster question answered already as we look at this box within a box. It has a picture of it right here. Should open just like any standard flat box of this style. Got a little foam protective cover here, and you got the blaster. That is a really nice sleek color. It looks sci-fi enough that I don't think it would be mistaken for a firearm. However, common sense will go a long way here. Very simple 1-page instruction manual depicting the white version of the Mongu and the teal version of the Mongu, explaining all the basic stuff. Does have a Chinese section, but thankfully does also have an English section and explains the operation of the blaster, charging, refilling of water, etc. The blaster does have an internal battery apparently, so all you can see from the packaging is the actual charger, which is a nice USB-C. I love how a lot of these blaster companies are starting to adapt USB-C technology. Very effortless, very easy to just plug it in to your blaster and let it charge. Taking the blaster outside of this protective layer here, I can tell you right away the grip is very, very angled, but it's not angled enough to where it's uncomfortable. Trigger area is a little small, but then again, I have pretty large hands, so your mileage might vary with that. I do like the little two-tone inlay gray right here on the handle. Nice translucent blue water tank right here. Looks like there's a diaphragm separating the pressure chamber from the water chamber, and a nice little LCD diagram right here. And we can see the firing nozzle here and the fill nozzle here. They're both in the front, and the way that this blaster does refill is by inserting it into a bucket or water or pool if you're playing in a pool, or at the beach if you're playing at the beach. This blaster is actually saltwater compatible, believe it or not. But without further ado, we're going to charge it up and take it outside and have a little fun, show you a couple of the features of the blaster and my lasting thoughts. Let's get into it, guys. All right, guys, so this is the blaster in all its glory. In order to operate the blaster, you're going to want to press this button right here for 3 seconds, closer to 4 or 5 seconds. When you do that, your LCD display will light up, indicating how many rounds you have. Right now it shows 0 because I have not filled the tank yet, and your battery percentage damage. Right now it's showing 98%. And then down here, very small on the bottom right-hand corner, it says semi. This blaster is select fire. It has semi-automatic and full auto mode. In order to change between the two modes, you're going to hold the same power button between 2 to 3 seconds. You see it now changed to auto, and there you have it. Operation of the blaster is very simple. The first thing you want to do is fill it. This blaster does have 2 fill modes. One is the automatic mode, and then the other obviously is the manual mode. The way the automatic one works is once you dip your blaster deep enough in your bucket or pool or beach water level, it's going to start filling up automatically. If you don't want to have to dip it that low, you can actually push the trigger in the opposite direction and it'll start filling, and I'll show you exactly how that works. I'm going to dip it up to the automatic fill trigger line and you're going to see what happens. It has overfill protection, as you were just able to see. The blaster automatically drained any excessive water that would have caused damage to it. There's a yellow LED that not only represents the filling process, but also follows along the filling progress as the percentage of the tank increases. I thought that was a cool feature. It gives you a visual response of what's going on. Now you're gonna notice the blaster not always reaches 100%. Sometimes it sticks in the late 90s, like 96 through 99. I think this is part of the protection circuit so that it doesn't overfill that diaphragm and pressurized chamber. Now let's fire off some rounds and see how the semi and auto work respectively. All right guys, I've set my blaster to semi, which is what it comes default with out of the box. So I figured that's the best thing to showcase right off the bat. It actually has a very snappy trigger, and it also, just like with the filling process, has a blue LED indicator to let you know the firing process is taking place. Cool thing about it is that when you're filling, the LED sequence goes towards the rear of the blaster naturally as the filling process goes, and as you fire the blaster, the LED sequence goes towards the front of the blaster. Hopefully it's not bright enough that you can still see that, but let's check it out. The blue LED is actually for full auto mode. That's why you see a red LED right now. The red LED indicates semi-automatic fire. The blue LED, as you'll see in the next couple of frames, indicates fully automatic fire. The fill sequence is indicated by a yellow or orange LED. As you can see with the semi-automatic, the blaster responds to the speed of your trigger finger. There is no limit on the rate of fire. It's pretty cool, but it also could be pretty exhausting on your hand, especially given how heavy this blaster is. It doesn't weigh a ton, but it weighs more than your average X-Shot Dart Zone or Hasbro blaster because it has all these mechanical features and electronic components in it. Now we're gonna switch to automatic so you see how that works. So with automatic, it's just your basic full auto procedure. You just hold the trigger down and let it rip. Cool thing about full auto is that you could actually tap the trigger to manually shoot instead. So if for some reason you're in the middle of shooting full auto and it's just not fast enough to your liking, you could just speed it up with your trigger finger. Just like with the Halo MA40 from the video game, this little display will indicate how many rounds you have left as well. All right guys, so I might not be able to compare this to big players like the Spyra and maybe a few other companies, but what I can tell you is that for having played with a product in this category for the first time, meaning electrical pulse water blasters, I am extremely impressed. This blaster ticks all the boxes if you're trying to get into the technical water blaster hobby, and it actually puts it into a perspective where I think that water blasters could actually form another sub-hobby of our beloved foam flinging sport. Much like Gel Blaster tried to do, but it's still a gray area. I think water blasters are a little bit more even accessible than that because the ammo is literally water. If you're at a pool, you just put the blaster into the pool and fill it up. If you're at the beach, you could do the same thing. Now, one thing I do recommend is, even though this company does claim that this blaster is dual freshwater and saltwater, after a heavy saltwater session, I would recommend filling it with fresh water a couple of times and flushing the system. Much like how you see people do with their boats after a whole day of boating, nothing different. You want to run some fresh water through it to make sure that those aggressive minerals that exist in salt water are not going to just remain there eating away at your components. That's just my recommendation based on common sense. I'm pretty sure it's not that serious, but I would do it anyway. Overall, I do like the design. I like the streamlined look of the blaster. It's very sci-fi. You guys know I like my sci-fi. The fill nozzle is on the bottom. I do like the automatic filling system, anodized aluminum barrel right here, and the fact that it's pulled pulsed system. I do like the fact that this thing can create pseudo rounds of water versus just a steady stream, which we're used to from all the blasters that have existed, at least until the Spyra. The blaster does retail for around $150, but I will have a 15% off coupon code that will put this blaster way under all the competitors in its class down in the description and the pinned comment. So if it's not on there at the time of the video launch, just be patient. I'm still communicating with the manufacturer so they can send me the link. Great product. If you have a little bit of extra coin to enjoy a little higher tier of water blasting, I highly recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, you're definitely gonna like this one. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay blasting, foam fam.